Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
We're here on a barge. We're here on a dock on a beautiful little pond in western Washington County, Arkansas.
Yep.
And we're sampling homebrew, and we're about to sample some mead.
Yes, we are.
And our Patreon members, subscribers, will have seen the bonus episode where Steve and I tried out a steam juicer. And it's where you put fruit or whatever you want to steam juice in the top of it, and you put water in the bottom of it, and it collects juice from the steam in the middle.
It's quite amazing.
We learned about it from Tim Lieber, the mead maker, on the show. And so what did you have to juice?
Well, I had one of my former customers at my homebrew shop gave me a couple of gallons of mulberries. And mulberries, if you don't know about them, they grow on a tree, which is weird for a berry, kind of, but they usually grow on little vines. But anyway, it's a tree that puts out this big, dark, grapey tasting berry. And they're quite good, although my mother would never let us eat them because she said they were wormy. That was just Mom not wanting to have the mess
on your clothes.
Anyway, so I had 2 gallons of these, and we got a hold of this juicer. You got one, and we decided to make that our first test batch.
Right.
So we had the 2 gallons, and I think we got a quart of juice.
You had 2, I think, I'm going to correct you, it's 2 quart. There were 2 quart bags of berries.
Okay, I was thinking
and then we got a little over a quart of juice, so it was like a 50% extraction. So it was a good extraction rate on the. I was impressed.
Oh, I was too, and at the quality of the juice. The juice was it was thick, it was sweet, it wasn't watery. I don't know what I expected, but it was.
Yeah, I expected the steam to dilute the juice, but it did not at all.
No.
So what we have here is a mead, and I'm holding this just so it doesn't blow away.
This is a mulberry mead that I made from the mulberries and the honey. And what I did, it's a small batch mead, of course, because we didn't have all that much. I made a 2-gallon batch, and I used just enough honey to bring the specific gravity up to 1092 to begin with.
And so this is just honey and juice, right?
That's correct.
No water.
No, there's water.
Oh.
So we had a quart of juice.
Right.
And I used to make a 2-gallon batch. So I added enough water to bring me to 2 gallons.
How much honey?
Well, now see, this is where, since I can't find my notes.
We'll put it in later.
I'm not sure.
You'll see it here on the bottom.
Today has been a weird day. I just couldn't find them. But all I can say is I did a 2-gallon batch. I used the juice from the mulberries, which had quite a bit of sugar in it, but not enough to make an 11% mead. So then I added enough honey to hit my specific gravity. Rather than building the mead from, I have 10 pounds of honey and I'm going to make a mead, I said to myself, you're making a 2-gallon batch. I want it to be right at 11%. So I will add enough honey along with the juice that was already in there to bring my specific gravity up to about 1092, 1095, so that if it comes down to, 998, which it did, it's going to be about, I have to do the math now, so somebody will correct me, but it's going to be about 12.5%, I think. And so I just don't have my tasting notes today, and I do apologize for that.
What yeast did you use?
I used the QA23, I'm pretty sure. Now, once again, I was making a bunch of meads, and I would either have used the QA23 or the RC235. It's a red wine yeast. And frankly, I had a few packs of each. I think I used the QA23. I'll have to go back and look at the bonus episode because the recipe's there. But I couldn't find it today. Anyway, what do you think?
It's good. It's vague but good. No, I think this is proof of concept on the steam juicer.
Yeah.
Because I also use the steam juicer in a beer, a blueberry cream ale, I think, wasn't it? Or no, blackberry cream ale.
Blackberry cream ale, yeah.
And that was really good. And I got the inspiration. I listened to the recent show with Tim Lieber, where one of the meads that we had of his was a peach mead. And remember how delicious that peach mead was? So I'm inspired to brew a peach IPA.
That'd be great.
Big, giant American IPA. Put peach juice, steam juiced peach juice in the keg, and use Imperial's Mangostini, that new hybrid yeast, to bring out the fruitiness in that. So that's another one along the way. Super, super delicious. It's really fruity.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know that if you set this in front of me and said, "What fruit is this?" I wouldn't. You know, I don't know what a mulberry tastes like.
See, I wouldn't either. It's just kind of that. It's very rich. The berry flavor is very rich, and
the fruit flavor is preserved in the fermentation. It's really good.
yeah. So it came out great, and I'm a big fan of that steam juicer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that thing tore it up.
Well, we have another. Should we talk about this mead or save it? The other mead. Do you want to give vague details about how to ferment that?
Well, I have the recipe for that. I found that. I just don't know what I did with the recipe for this. We just moved, so I don't know where anything is yet.
Should we take a small taste of this?
Sure.
Just at the end of this hot. It's so hot out here.
We need some more. What do you call it?
Cups. Here, I'll rinse it out in the pond water.
Yeah.
Here, fish. It'll be good. Ooh, it's fizzy.
Yes, this is a sparkling mead.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. On purpose.
We all know how scary it is when it's not. Oh, that's beautiful.
Now this
Cheers.
is the mead. This mead has been brewed specifically for Chase and Sydney when they get married to have a toast.
Your son and daughter.
My son and future daughter-in-law. And also in remembrance and honorance of the mead that you brewed for Gretchen and I 25 years ago this week.
This is like honey champagne.
Yes.
It just disappears. You drink it and it's lovely and okay, all right. Just got bird bombed. It's better than the helicopter that was here before, but it's delicious. It's nice and dry, and it's just like champagne. Only there's a little teeny bit of honey note in there.
Yeah. So this is just the story about this. The backstory is that my friend Joanne, when we visited them at Thanksgiving in Santa Fe, she had this 4-pound jar of honey, of local New Mexico honey.
Wow.
Some friend of hers keeps bees. And she said, I don't know what to do with this, but I know you will. And so what I did, rather than dilute it into a bigger batch of something or make a beer with it, something like that, I decided to make the mead it's about a 7.5% mead. But I made a 2.5 gallon batch using just that honey and just our regular, I actually think I used Mountain Valley spring water from hot springs in it. I wanted good water and a good mineral water because I knew I wanted it to be a sparkling mead. And so I kind of wanted the mineral of it, the minerals in there. And anyway, it turned out great. And I still got, maybe 3 6-packs of it left. And we'll try to stay out of it because for the wedding reception.
Spike it with a little bit of the mulberry because the sparkling mead is delicious by itself. It's very, very dry. It's just like champagne in that way, but you put a little fruit in it.
Yeah, boy, that's good. Wow. That's really good.
There you go. There's a reason why we brought this one out.
Yeah.
Woo.
And of course, both of these were treated with, I always treat my mead with chemicals. And I know folks don't do that. Some don't. I think it's okay. Meaning I'm not slugging down, 8 pounds of DAP into there or whatever, but.
So that nutrient, but you didn't put any stabilizers in there.
No, not in the sparkling one. No.
Right. Right,
So,
because otherwise the yeast would not have been able to eat the sugar to carbonate it.
that's right. And I use a little honey for the carbonation,
Oh, priming sugar.
priming sugar.
Yeah.
Probably a quarter of a cup I would have used, yeah, in a 2.5 gallon batch.
That's really good.
So yeah, and then in the Mulberry, which is also known as a Morat, M-O-R-A-T, that is the term for a Mulberry mead.
And I've got some Malort in the car.
You do, and let's never mention that again.
Chicago viewers will.
All I know is they're closing Guantanamo, and instead of being held in Guantanamo, they're going to make them do a shot of Malort every day for the rest of their lives. Whew. That's how rough this stuff is.
Okay. Whew, let's find some shade.
Let's find some shade.
All right, brew some stuff. Have some fun.
Absolutely.
Get out in the sun for a few minutes, but wear sunscreen. I've got sunscreen,
That's right.
which is why I'm glistening. I have a glow. I have a healthy glow.
You have a pinkish hue.
All right, I do. I was gonna say happy birthday, everybody.
Well, happy Veterinarians Day.
I'm walking home. All right, happy brewing, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
Come and visit us online at basicbrewing.com. You can find archive lists of our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs and our brewer's logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. Happy birthday. Jeez Louise. It's either the sun, it's a combination between sunstroke and drinking mead.
Yep. Sunstroke and carbs. Kill you every time.